Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for this week's drawing, I'm going to be drawing a Draw This Again tag, and this is going to be of a sorcerer that I drew clear back in 2013. Quick background, in 2013 I was just beginning to get back seriously into my drawing. I had been drawing for a very long time before that, since I was a child, but in 2013 I decided to try to really get into it and really start drawing again. So I drew a picture of this sorcerer, and I kind of wanted to try drawing him again because there were so many technical errors, and I just thought it'd be really fun. So I kind of changed up his pose a little bit and made him use his magic orb a little further down. I changed some things. He no longer has his drawn sword. I thought with this character, with this Draw This Again character, he would look a little intimidating if I had him with a drawn sword. So he has a sheathed dagger by his side to kind of keep the same ambience. So I wanted to stick with some other colors, but instead of going for black in his cloak or robe, I went for a nice brown. I used walnut brown for this. Now, the only problem is as I was working, my walnut brown ran out and I didn't have any refills for it yet. So after quickly running online and ordering a refill and then wanting to cry because it was not going to come in on time, I went through and colored in all of the shadow parts black. And I did that pretty much all in one run, and I went over it with my walnut brown. That way I would have the look of the walnut brown, but without using too much of it. For my magician's magic, I decided to go for blues. So I went with ice blue and Prussian blue, and I blended those really well together. I also used holiday blue. Now, the thing about it is my ice blue was almost out, so I think that it formed a really kind of cool smoky effect. So that's one of the things that you can do when your colors are going out. You can use them for smoky effects. Really make this look work. The fingers that lie behind the magic, I didn't draw them in as dark as I did the four fingers, so I used a very fine pen to line those. Also, when I come back in to work on the background, I'm going to add muted colors behind the magic to make it look a little bit more see-through. His belt is red because it was a nice contrast between his hair, shirt, pants, and cloak. Alright, so next I'm going to talk about the grays that I used for both his hair and for his shirt. In the original, his hair was more white than gray. However, I kind of liked the silver tones that I put into it so that it made it look a little bit more ethereal with kind of more of a silver hair than just a white hair. But specifically for his shirt, I didn't want it to look gray. I wanted his shirt to look nice and white. So to do that, I went through and I gradually added color, starting with my C1, my cool gray one. And I started with that, and then I blended it out using a colorless blender, and then gradually added my darker colors and blended those through. That made sure that it still remained a white looking shirt, even though I put all those nice gray shadows into it. After I finished working on the character, I moved on to the background. So if you would look at my original drawing, you would see that the background is a little out of proportion and kind of, it's at a very strange angle. However, I really liked the European or the German styled homes in the background. So what I did is I went through and found some reference photos of a German town, and I created this German town based off of that. So I made sure that all of the points of reference were mostly correct. I am really bad at kind of vanishing points. So, but I worked really hard trying to get all the vanishing points to look believable, and then I went through and used watercolor to fill in the background. I used watercolor in particular because I wanted it not to draw too much attention away from the central character, so I went for some of the more subdued and magical, airy colors of watercolor. Moving on to the houses in the background. So the houses I knew I wanted to blend right into the background, all except for two houses. So one is the one next to the cherry blossom tree, and I made that kind of a pinky purple. And it's the florist shop, so that was really exciting to do. So I made sure that there was a lot of greenery in and around. Oh, and a quick note, if you look at the eaves above the florist shop, you will see that there's this massive greenery coming out. The reason why that I chose that was actually because I made a huge mistake while inking, and it was completely out of proportion and everything was wrong. So I fixed it by creating this massive greenery just draping off of it, which could be believable if it's a magical florist shop, which it is. So the florist shop is in that beautiful purple, and then the house with the M on it, that one was a nice gray color. It almost matches his hair, but I put a little bit more warmth in it, so it kind of was different from his hair. All the other houses, I mixed up my typical skin tone, which is Opera Rose and Raw Sienna, and I sometimes put a little bit of blue in there to kind of make it a little bit cooler and counteract some of the pink, and that was what I used for all the houses in the background, and then I used red for the roof. To finish this drawing up, I added a few minor details. So in the roof of the houses, I put small amounts of tiles on them, kind of the indication that they're tiles. I darkened some of the shadows in the wood, and I went through and added some clouds to the sky to make it look a little bit more magical. And then I went through and added just a few details of cobblestones. I didn't want your eye to be drawn immediately to the background, so I kept all the details more of an indication of the patterns that are there instead of actually showing you the full pattern. I want to thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and in the description box below you will find links to my social media accounts and a place where you'll find the finished drawing of this. I will see you guys next time. Bye!